We start with some breaking news this afternoon. A man and a woman are in the hospital right now after being shot during a family fight in Orlando. Thanks for joining us on this Monday. I'm Luann Sorrell.
And I'm Arlisa Goldsmith. It happened this morning on Fitzgerald Drive near the intersection of West Church Street and South John Young Parkway. Fox 35's Marie Edinger is live in Orlando tonight. Marie, what's the latest?
We've just learned more about what happened in the shooting and the people involved. But first, before I talk about that, I want to give you a look at what we're seeing right now. You can see behind me, police have cleared out of this area. It's the house with that white car parked in front of it that we're talking about here and where this shooting happened. Police nowhere to be found anymore, but the shooter is still on the run. We saw helicopters up in the air earlier, presumably searching for somebody, and they say they know who it is. Orlando police said there was some sort of domestic dispute that led up to this shooting, and I just moments ago talked with Pastor Stevelio Stovall. He says this is his house where this happened, the one he grew up in, and that it was his nephew who opened fire. His name is William Edward Stovall. And Pastor Stovall says his sister was hit in the arm area. He told me she is in surgery right now. He's hoping she's doing okay. She is expected to survive. I spoke with a woman earlier who told me the man who was shot is her nephew, who is a man in his late 40s. She told me he was grazed in the head and that he is doing okay. But again, the shooter right now is still on the loose, and the family says they want him caught or they want him to turn himself in. We'll be talking more about that tonight at 6. For now, I'll tell you, the Orlando Police Department says this is an active investigation. They're still working to learn more about what led up to this and again where that shooter is. We'll check back in with you at 6 o'clock. Live in Orlando, Marie Edinger, Fox 35 News.
Fox 35 News starts now with breaking news.
This man arrested, accused of killing his husband at a home in Ocala back in March. The suspect walked into jail today. Thanks for joining us on this Friday. I'm Luann Sorrell.
And I'm John Brown. Herbert Swilley is accused of drugging, strangling, and then beating Timothy Smith to death. You heard about this update first on Fox. We were the first to report this development, sending out this push alert as soon as we confirmed the arrest at noon today. And Fox 35's Patrick Perez joins us live tonight. So, Patrick, deputies say the suspect had been trying to get immunity from investigators.
And those investigators, John, refused to provide it, which stalled the case for some time. But earlier this week, they met with the state attorney's office, who determined that there is enough evidence in the case to move forward with an arrest, which happened this morning. And this is bringing a bit of closure to the family and friends of Timothy Smith that they have wanted for months. Every time Candy Baker steps into her kitchen, she's reminded of the childlike freedom her friend Timothy Smith allowed himself to have.
We love to do that, just be silly and to live in the moment and just be free.
Till this day, she still can't believe he's gone. On the morning of March 25th, Marion County Sheriff's deputies found Timothy's body in his home in the Citrus Park neighborhood. His friends and his husband, Herbert Swilley, had been searching for him the night before.
I never thought anything bad would happen. I don't think anyone thinks bad things would happen to your family or your friends or, anyone you know.
It was just as hard for his sister, Sandy Riles, to accept as they lost her mother just months prior.
And then for him to, something to happen to him, it's just been devastating.
Fox 35 has been focusing on this case as part of our Central Florida's True Crime Files. In a one-on-one interview about the case, Lieutenant Paul Bloom described Timothy's murder as brutal.
The level of violence done to the victim from the body that they saw was certainly appalling.
In the days after, Candy had grown suspicious of Herbert because of his behavior and some of the things he'd say.
The husband, that morning I went there, I said, "Did you sleep?" And he said, "I slept like a baby."
Though Timothy's husband is now arrested as a suspect in this case, Timothy's loved ones are still pushing for justice.
Tim did not deserve this. No human being deserved this.
He was my buddy and I was his sister, that's what we call one another. So I miss my buddy, but I'll see him again one day.
And Swilley is charged with first-degree premeditated murder and tampering with evidence. Right now, he's in the Marion County Jail with no bond. Tomorrow, he is set to face a judge who will then determine whether he should get a bond. We're live in Marion County. I'm Patrick Perez, Fox 35 News.
In Volusia County, a man is arrested on Halloween night, openly carrying a loaded gun and wearing a bulletproof vest when he went into a cafe in DeLand. Take a look.
I forgot my concealed carry holster at the house, so I just threw this on.
Why wouldn't you just leave it in the car?
Investigators say that Michael Rebar went into the Cafe Da Vinci and that gun was visible. Police just released this body cam video of the incident. They say the gun was loaded and visible on his hip, according to the arrest report. The 22-year-old man was arrested for carrying a gun in a prohibited place.
A man is accused of pulling out a gun on an off-duty state trooper. Investigators believe he was upset about how that trooper was driving with his family.
When they arrested that suspect, they found multiple guns at his home. Fox 35's Caroline Coles is live in the studio tonight. Caroline, what's the latest?
Good evening to you both. You know, this is just another reminder of why you should never, ever engage with aggressive drivers. You simply just never know what that driver has in the car with them.
In this case, he picked the wrong person to deal with.
Or the right one in this case.
Another driver became agitated with the slow-moving traffic and eventually focused his anger towards a person who turned out to be an off-duty trooper.
That off-duty trooper was driving with his family in his personal car when the Florida Highway Patrol says a man pulled out a gun and pointed it at the trooper. FHP saying 32-year-old Matthew Ryder was annoyed by the traffic jam, and when it started to clear up, he pulled alongside the trooper and started yelling and using hand gestures. The off-duty trooper ignoring him the whole time.
If you see an aggressive driver, if you see a road rage situation occurring, back off, create distance, okay? Don't return any kind of gestures.
The off-duty trooper contacted FHP to report the incident, and it did not take long to track the suspect down.
We were able to locate him and went to his house and made an arrest because once he pulled up, the troopers are already there waiting for him.
The off-duty officer ignoring the aggressive driver the entire time, something police hope serve as a reminder to the importance of ignoring aggressive drivers.
If you find yourself in an aggressive driving situation, delayed traffic, what have you, calm, patience. Take the time to slow down.
Good reminders. Now, the driver was arrested on 3 counts, each of unlawful display of a weapon and aggravated assault of a weapon as well. Live here in the studio, I'm Caroline Coles for Fox 35 News.